Welcome to High Oracle's Reiki Spiritual Healing Channel. And a lot of the people that I have been dealing with lately, they have been able to take my advice to remove the negative energy out of their life, those energy vampires. And I'm seeing a lot of energy vampires in people's lives that, they have been dealing with people that have mental challenges, that have, physical challenges, that have been pretending to be normal, and they are not normal, okay? We have some of those people in our current administration, and we have to be able to cut those frequencies from those people to let them know that we're not coming to your rescue when you are doing negative things up on the earth, when you are attacking people, when you are attacking your wife, when you are attacking your husband. We're not coming to your rescue. You're not going to be able to use a spiritual healer as a point of contact in order to carry out your negative agenda. You have to return to those practitioners that you have been using. There are a lot of people whom I have become an enemy to. There are a lot of demonic activity entities that I am an enemy to. So when you're having these types of enemies in your life, these people who are approaching you, with the spirit of delay, to waste your time, to know that, it's very simple in order to remove the negative attachments in your life, the negative attacks from your parents. And a lot of these people that I have been working with, clients, they want to continue to stay in that the way that the ancients have taught them. And when we are removing negative energy, then you have to go with what the ritual is. And you have to be able to discern and understand the ritual being given to the prophet that is associated with that prophet, that is associated with your situation. So I have made a lot of enemies because, I'm being as lenient as I can with the information, with the situations that you're going through. When you're having these types of negative entities that are attached to your prosperity, attached to your abundance. So right now I'm dealing with enemies, in my own family that has to be cleansed out of my life. And this is why, I thank God under all conditions to stay where I am, so that these enemies cannot hire their spirits to put, to try to attack me, turmoil financially, that God has removed me from these types of entities, these types of people that's in my life that, want my downfall, that want to waste my time. I've had, entities again that want to see me in a jail or in a facility for the mentally impaired. So we want to understand that we're cleansing these types of negative energies out of our life when we're seeing them, that they're trying to stay in the shadows, that they want you to continue to pretend with them, and they are willing to make you, pretend with them. And so we are using different methods in order to cleanse these people out of our lives. We're using the spiritual rituals in order to cleanse these people out of our lives. We're using the holy books, the rituals, the methods. We're using the methods that were given to the prophets. So now that they are understanding that, I let people make it. I let people make it. And I want to be able to make it as easy and as simple for you to be able to understand what's going on in your life, to give you the best possible advice. I want to be able to conform to a ritual that you understand. But I'm not trying to conform to what you were given that's going to make you feel good. Okay, so this is why you have to decide, if the rituals haven't been working for you in your life. And I give you a ritual and you follow it, to what I'm giving you as opposed to what has been given to you. And it works out for you. I am always happy for my people, for my clients, when I give them a ritual and they are able to feel the relief from that. Okay. And in that ritual, I'm giving you the prayers. I'm giving you the prayers of the prophets. I'm letting you know that this is what you have to do. This is what God said. You need to cover your head. This is what God said. You need to come out of those strip clubs. This is what God says. You need to stop having multiple partners. You're opening up your soul as a portal for these entities to attach negative energy to you. I'm giving you the spiritual advice. I'm giving you the downloads about your situation when I come in contact with you. But when you have become an entity where you are obsessed, where you are obsessed with the situation, where you become obsessed with me, then I tend to cut cords, with that type of entity. I tend to cleanse. I don't cut cords with the client. I cut cords with that entity. I do not feed it. I do not feed those types of entities, that want the spiritual direction, but do not follow the instructions. So if we are on a fast, and I'm going to give you an instruction. So if we are on a fast and, you have children, or you have people, and I'm single, and you're on a spiritual fast to cleanse the negative energy, to identify the negative entities that have been attached to your life, then we are supposed to communicate, correct? And I understand we're going to communicate on a fast. So, you're going to call me, on the morning that you get up for your fast, when you're ready to pray. You're going to call me, on the next morning that you're ready to pray. When I have to call you, that you're not, up yet, and, you're going to miss this date, then you're not ready for this type of cleansing. You're not sincere. You're not prepared for these types of cleansing. There is some blockages that need to be removed. Now, we understand that the fasting and the praying can remove those types of blockages. These are the types of people that want to waste your time. These are the types of people that say, okay, when I say I have to move on to someone else that is ready, that's ready to receive the cleansing, the miracles that God is going to bless them with for fasting and praying in their life. And these people then become enemies because I've moved on. I have to move on to other clients, and they are upset. Okay. So we have this understanding that when you tell people the truth, when you are not pliable the way that they want you to be, the way you're not doing things the way that they've received other cleanses from practitioners, and they do things their way, then I have to let you make it. I have to let you make it, because what I'm giving you and what you decide to do is the difference between whether you are successful or not, whether we are successful or not in removing the demonic entity. But, you know, as for my part, then I have, done all that I can do, by giving you the information, by giving you, the instructions, the rituals to carry out. And, I have been very gracious in saying and letting you know that the prayers are, are just what they are. The prayers are to remove the negative energy. The prayers are the prayers that the prophets before us have prayed, our ancients have prayed. And we have to be open-minded to understanding that, just like they had people who was wasting their time, trying to waste their time, demonic entities, who wanted to be like them, who wanted to, take information and do things the way that they wanted to do. People who were jealous of them, the prophets of old. These are the things that they prayed against. So we have to make sure that when we have these people who are spiritually trying to delay us with their situation, then we have to ultimately, say, well, I have other clients, I cannot, just like a school teacher, I cannot, keep going over the same thing with you. But what you can do is that you can book a session so that, I can make sure that you get this information, that I can teach it to you again once you book your sessions again. Okay, so this is how we deal with those types of people who are enemies, who are delayers, who want to waste your time. We want to make sure that they get that information, and we're always available. Once we've moved on from teaching this subject, a subject that they have tried to, become enemies to you, and they have tried to make you an enemy to them because they didn't want to follow the instructions or the guidance that's given in the situation. Okay, then we have to make sure that we have moved on and let them know that you can always come back and revisit this information by booking you a session, and that we can revisit, the spirits that's hired and that have been attacking you in this life, so that you can have clarity on how the process is supposed to be carried out. The spiritual prayers that you're supposed to pray. We can go over it, one by one. But, ultimately, I'm going to make sure that you get the information when it is supposed to reach you. If you're not ready for it, then you may have to cover it a couple of times before you can understand why you're not getting the results that you want to get. Okay, so I hope that you have received this message. Please like, share, and subscribe to me over all of my platforms. You can book your one-on-one life coaching sessions or your video chat sessions. Book your consultations so that I can acclimate a gift to your situation. I'm High Oracle, Reiki spiritual healer. Assalamu alaikum.